Dear listeners, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to another Speak and Flow podcast. Today, we're going to talk about storytelling, and not just any type of storytelling, descriptive storytelling, specifically around sight and sound. Sight and sound. Cool, right? I know that many of you are leaders out there and always getting better, improving in your speeches, presentations, and narrative storytelling is one of the most powerful, effective tools that you can use to engage all the senses, right, of your audiences, multi-sensory information, and they just cannot help but be at the edge of their seats listening to what you have to say. Barack Obama does this so beautifully. Like, he includes powerful examples, narratives of people that he sees, people that he visits and gets in touch with, and tells these heartfelt stories. Taylor Swift, which I've been listening to and reading about. She's a person of the year. Her music, if you listen to it, she includes, even if you don't like the sound, but if you listen to the lyrics, she includes powerful descriptive storytelling, similes, metaphors to describe what is happening, describe how she's feeling. And so it behooves us as great, masterful communicators to master this skill of descriptive storytelling. And today, sight and sound will be the focus. I'm going to give you some techniques on how to do this effectively in your next story so you can really capture the hearts of your listeners. So, sight, painting a mental picture in the audience's mind. I think it's fascinating how we can actually do that just by saying a word or a couple words. People can automatically, it just pops up. Like, they cannot help it. Purple elephant, giant purple elephant in the room. And now suddenly you cannot help but see this giant purple elephant with its long trunk and its big purple glow in the room. How cool is that, right? The zesty, bright yellow lemon. Zesty, bright yellow lemon. Oh, so bright and yellow. Now you have a picture of a yellow lemon. And I'm just saying words. So that is how you use words to create and paint a picture. And to practice getting good at this, we want to be more intentional about seeing every little detail in our life. And who doesn't want to do that, right? Because we have a limited time on earth. We might as well just pay attention to all the beautiful details of life, including color, texture. You could describe the location of where you're at. So if you're about to describe the location of where you're at, you can use this technique, broad to detail. Here's an example. I was sitting in a beautiful green, picturesque forest with lots of trees. So the green trees everywhere around me. And then suddenly I see a little red ladybug crawling on the floor and then crawling up to my shoe. So there you go. I went from large, broad stroke to very small detail. So that is how you can describe what you're seeing in a location of where you're at. And just by using words, people are getting the visual in their head and they're right there with you. How cool is that, right? You're taking them along the journey to where you're at. And then include some sound into the story. You can describe, well, sound is auditory, right? And so you can play around with the different volume. Is it loud or soft? The nuances of the sound. Is there buzzing? Is there sizzling? You can use words that sound like what you're actually hearing. Buzzing, sizzling. And don't forget, sound can also create emotion, right? So the loud thunderstorm, sometimes will create some fear in others. Or the whimper of the cute dog, right? There's an emotion, the whimpering of a cute dog. So even sound can create emotion. The rustling of the leaves. As I was sitting in the forest, I heard the rustling of the leaves and noticed the little red ladybug on my shoe. And so now you're bringing in sound into your visual, and now we're including more senses. And you're drawing people in to your story. Play around with that. Use your creativity. This is your time. We don't often get a chance to play around with creativity and describing what we're seeing, what we're hearing. I highly encourage you to practice telling these stories to your children, to other people, to your friends, and just have fun with it. And if you need some additional support, you can always come into, I have speaking sprints where we go through deliberate practice on storytelling, focusing on sight, sound. And in our next episode, we're going to talk about touch and scent and smell, bringing even more senses into your story. So today, I hope you enjoyed how to use descriptive storytelling in your narrative, specifically around painting a visual picture in your audience's mind and including what are you hearing, the sound in your story to include multi-sensory effect, and that will help engage your audience, bring them in, build a connection, build a meaningful connection between you and your audience, and create a compelling message. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, I am your sister in flow, speaking in flow. May more opportunities and prosperity flow to you from within you. Take care. Thanks for joining the conversation today. Are you curious on how you measure up with your ability to speak in flow? Come grab my free self-assessment at https://speakinflow.com/assessment. And I'll see you on the other side.